I won't go against the truth if I say that Dulat Isabekov is one of the most promoted and famous writers, both in Kazakhstan and abroad. Biknur Kisikov, writer, author of numerous novels, stories, and poems, member of jury of literature contest, inspirer and organizer of Kitab Fest Festival, founder of Kazakhstan Encyclopedia Project, encyclopedia.kz. Recently, in 2016, Moscow Publishing House has issued 4 volumes of his selected works. The launch of these books took place at Maxim Gorky Literature Institute. The writer was published in Moscow previously. But Khudozhestvennaya literatura, publishing house has a high status, and as the author once mentioned in his interview, it is a great honor for him to be published there. Dulat Isabekov is a Kazakh and Soviet writer and playwright. He was born on the 20th of December, 1942 in the South Kazakhstan region. He graduated from philology faculty at Kirov Kazakh State University, Al-Farabi Kazakh National University now. Over the years, he worked as a senior editor at Kazakh Radio Drama and Literature Broadcast, science editor of Kazakh Soviet Encyclopedia, head of editorial offices of various literary magazines. Also, he was a director of Kazakh television and managed Kazakh Research and Science Institute of Culture and Art. Dulat Isabekov was awarded with Kurmet Order and second-degree Dostik Order. Also, he has won State Prize of the Republic of Kazakhstan, as well as Independent Platinum Tarlan Award. Moreover, Isabekov was the first Kazakh writer to speak at the House of Lords in London, where he suggested the creation of World Without War Association. However, I have no idea whether any other Kazakh writers spoke there afterwards. For Kazakhs, Dulat Isabekov is a living classic. For more than 50 years, his works bring joy to his readers and fans. And this all has started with his Zholda, en route short story that he wrote in 1963. It was a symbolical piece, as the whole life of the writer, as well as of the nomad, is a journey. Young Isabekov was trying to write in different genres and styles. At the same time, he was mastering his skills in related professions. As a screenwriter, for instance, many film versions based on his works were made. Also, he himself was writing scripts for different movies. I want to mention one particular movie that I was fond of from the very childhood. Keep Your Star, or Gauhartas. In its time, this film was loved by all Kazakhs, not just me, and today it is a part of our Gold Movie Fund. The history of this film started when Dulat Isabekov was just 20 years old. At that time, the writer was in the army, and there he heard a beautiful and romantic song performed by our legend, Bibigul Tuligenova, Gauhartas. Army service is always a challenging period in a man's life, but it can be even harder if you serve far away from your motherland. And the homesick writer who fell under influence of this song decided to write a story called Gauhartas that later became a film scenario. The plot of the movie is based on the story of a shepherd's elder son who got married to a young bride, beautiful Saltanat, that soon became everyone's favorite. But things were not as simple as they seemed in this family. The main character, Saltanat, played by Zhana Kwanisheva, has conquered viewers' hearts with her beauty, elegance, and the perfect image of daughter-in-law, Kilin. The film has become so popular that at that time, one of the main wishes and toast was, "May your family have such a great daughter-in-law as Saltanat," from Keep Your Star movie. Dulat Isabekov has initially become world famous as a playwright. He has penned more than 20 plays that are now being staged in the theaters of Kazakhstan and CIS countries. However, recently, his plays have become more popular among British public. In 2014, his transit passenger play was staged in London. In 2017, actors of Mukhtar Awezov's State Academic Drama Theater were performing Isabekov's Zhao Jurek play. The same year, Republican State Academic Korean Theater has presented musical comedy Actress. An Jibek play was performed in English by local British actors for the first time. Native places have played a significant role in Ryder's work. His characters live in Karatau, Sayram, Bogien, and Aris, and this is not the full list of the places where Dulat Isabekov's characters dwell. The protagonist of his Bonaparte's wedding story also lives on the Sir-Darya riverbank, exactly where the author has spent his childhood. Even considering the fact that the author writes in different genres, this story is surprisingly unique. Humor has always been a part of Dulat Isabekov's life. His characters always find themselves in some ridiculous situations which the writer narrates skillfully. Bonaparte's wedding is yet another facet in the author's writing. In this case, a village humoresque, full of irony and satire. The name of the story itself is funny, what kind of name Bonaparte is, and how on earth has Bonaparte appeared in the steppe, if even a single Frenchman has never been here. Protagonist's exotic name is the author's way of making fun of Kazakhs' passion for peculiar, non-traditional names. Due to the number of events that happen in the steppe, Kazakhs have accumulated a great deal of names that can amaze anyone. If you meet all Kazakhs, I'm sure you can learn every single name of every single nation on the planet. Kazakhs have started to acquire those names in the 30s to the 60s of the 20th century. Reflecting political events happening in the country, lots of children with names like Oktyabr, Sotsial, Avrora, Potyomkin, Lucia, Kamuna, Stakhan, Chapai, Roland, Maxim, Marx, Engels, Tito, Roosevelt, Isaac Newton were roaming the streets. There were even boys with the names of the countries and their capitals. When we were playing ball in the streets of our village, there were great men and great capitals among us: Baghdad, Madrid, Tehran, Kabul, Rome, Berlin, Rabat. But even among this diversity, Bonaparte's name was standing out with its, as protagonist put it, Frenchness. Villagers were shaking their heads and clicking their tongues, but soon they got used to it. The time has passed and Bonaparte grew up. It was time to find him a bride. Family council has gathered together and started to discuss the celebration. But it turned out that Bonaparte was uncircumcised. And how the shepherd has missed the moment remained a mystery. The most ill-tempered relatives started to swear in Russian, and here the author was making fun of villagers' passion for Russian obscenities. These words were trendy and considered as an indicator of coolness. After some discussion, the family council has decided to circumcise the teenager before the wedding. Usually, circumcision is associated with a big celebration, gifts and congratulations. But only for children to be circumcised as a grown-up is an embarrassment. That is why it was decided to proceed with the ceremony secretly, so that no one finds out about it. 2 hours after the council and Bonaparte mission is started, in the yurt, Aksakal Rat has circumcised our protagonist. Bonaparte was left to heal his wound. Everyone anticipated that he will recover in 10 days or so, and after that the wedding can be organized. However, something went wrong. Bonaparte's wound started to fester and his recovery was taking long. A week has passed, second, third, a month. The family council has thought about it for a while and resolved to cure Bonaparte with all means possible. This very evening, they started to cleanse him with a white chicken. They left him overnight at some saint's tomb, and they even shot a gun behind the yurt. Nothing has helped. The family was desperate when Bonaparte's relative, Masakbai, paid a visit and said, "Moscow broadcast of Kashpirovsky's healing session is about to start. He is a real saint. He has cured an old man who was bedridden for the last 40 years. And because of him, bald people started to grow hair. We need to relocate the TV set into Bonaparte's yurt. He will be cured in no time." So they did. Anatoly Mikhailovich Kashpirovsky is a Soviet psychotherapist who became popular in 1989 after his sessions were shown in Health Sessions with Dr. Anatoly Kashpirovsky program on Central Channel of the USSR. Meanwhile, rumors about the groom's condition has reached the bride's father's ears, who has lost any hope. Refusing to believe the rumors, he assigned this man to Bonaparte's village to spy. Unable to withstand such shame, frustrated father-in-law decides to move to a different village overnight, further from the groom and his family. After the session, Bonaparte started to recover and was able to ride a horse. Naturally, a telegram of gratitude was sent to Kashpirovsky. The family started to prepare for the wedding. They sent for their in-laws, but it turned out they were gone long ago. The family was frustrated. They even fought. Eventually, they decided that it was shameful to stay in this village any longer. They were given 7 flocks of sheep and sent to Suzak. Bonaparte's yurt that they considered cursed was left to their fellow villagers. At one of the following Kashpirovsky sessions, Bonaparte's telegram, confused and inarticulate, was read aloud. If you're going to read the book, pay attention. It is funny. In 10 days, local guys, jokers, put a sign on the yurt that was left by Abdashim reading. In this yurt, Bonaparte has been circumcised from the 8th to the 23rd of July 1989, and that is how the story ends. Despite its simplicity and eloquence, the story has a deep meaning. It was written in 1989, just before the Soviet Union has collapsed and during the period when the whole world was unstable. The Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini, Iranian supreme leader, has issued a fatwa calling for the murder of Salman Rushdie, author of a controversial book, The Satanic Verses. GDR started to demolish Berlin Wall. The Iron Curtain has almost fallen, and the USSR has become more and more peaceful. In his story, the author transmits this idea of a new era via his characters. Quote from the article: Dulat Isabekov, I felt like a classic for 5 minutes, and then I lost the sensation. Caravan Media Portal, written by Aygul Omarova. Isabekov writes about Kazakh village, theme that many so-called aesthetes don't find compelling. He writes a lot and in different genres, but whatever he writes about, the main ideas always revolve around core values: love, respecting the elderly, honoring ancestors' traditions. It is about love to his motherland, love between man and woman, love between elderly and their grandchildren, his deep understanding of the life of Kazakh village, his people's traditions and beliefs, makes his work trustworthy in its reflection of certain archetypes. Unfortunately, translations of classic works do not fully reflect the depth and uniqueness of Isabekov's style, something the author himself was complaining about. But even in other languages, his works demonstrate spectacular talent and writing style. Dulat Isabekov skillfully juggles with various genres and creates unique works of art.